Welcome to the Elwin channel, where you can get exclusive knowledge of different philosophies related to life and design. I like things that are labor intensive. You make a little thing and another little thing, and eventually you see a possibility. Kiki Smith, German-American artist. Fun fact number 1. Julius Caesar is said to have been the first person ever to wear a toga dyed entirely with Tyrian purple, that is, natural purple dye. And ever since, purple has been dubbed as a color of power, wealth, and royalty. Fun fact number 2. Indeed, purple is the most precious color of all, but did you ever stop to think about the rarest color of all? And the answer is blue. Meaning, blue is the rarest color in all of nature's ecosystem. Aside from the sky and the ocean, it is almost never found in plants or animals, and even when they appear to be blue, they actually don't contain blue pigment. And fun fact number 3. Do you or anyone you know have porphyrophobia? It is literally the fear of purple. People with this diagnosis experience severe anxiety when shades of purple show up in any form. It will be interesting to see how common the fear of purple really is. Welcome to the 3rd installment of our Natural Dye series, which is all about a surprising, extremely raw, unique, but potentially unsettling topic for many of you. As if the cochineal red dye from a cactus bug wasn't crazy enough, we present you Tyrian Purple dye, which derives from a snail dye. You heard that right. Tyrian Purple, also known as the most luxurious and royal color in all of the history of humankind, is created with a large predatory tropical snail classified as a murex sea snail. Unlike some natural dyes, it doesn't come from crushing the parts of the snail necessarily, but from its mucus. It is largely believed that the natural fabric dye of Tyrian purple was first begun by the Phoenicians sometime around 1200 BC and was in continual use even by the Roman and Greek civilizations all through the 1400s Common Era after the fall of Constantinople. The influence of the Phoenicians was pretty strong around this time period, which meant that the spread of natural purple dye was fast and furious, especially among nobility and those within the top hierarchy of society. Most of you probably know by now that purple has been officially known as a color of royalty, and as you would expect, Tyrian purple dye was the most expensive, most tedious, and most labor and resource intensive pigment imaginable. So pretty much, the color purple was always pretty extra in every sense of the word. At the time, it was a natural dye that was highly coveted amongst wealthy people and commoners alike. After all, at one point, it became narrowed down to being only the Roman emperor's garments and attires. And if anyone were to be found wearing Tyrian purple, well, as the Queen of Hearts puts it so eloquently, off with their heads. So you're probably wondering what the big deal is with this sea snail mucus, aren't you? And just what exactly did the manufacturing of this purple dye entail? Well, these snails, dubbed as a murex brandaris shellfish, resided in the deep waters of the eastern Mediterranean Sea. And since they were carnivorous, humans trapped them with suspended bait to gather them by the tens of thousands. Afterward, they were left out to dry in the sun so as to rot them for days, causing a formidable stench that affected an entire city. Once they had successfully undergone the step of putrefaction, literally meaning to rot away, the glands of the dried shellfish rendered the dye. But the problem? Each shellfish gave away barely enough to color the size of a dot. And thus, more than 10,000 of these little guys were needed in order to manufacture a teaspoon of this purple dye. Additionally, depending on the quality of the sunlight because of the time of the day, the shade of purple could range anywhere from pink to crimson red and violet. Not surprisingly, the production of Tyrian purple is close to non-existent in today's world, with the exception of a handful of manufacturers. One of them is located in Mexico, where they use a technique that allows a shellfish to actually stay alive. But regardless, the cost of less than half a teaspoon of this rich dye is still over $1,000. We find it amazing that Tyrian Purple has always been used as a dye for each fiber and strand of fabric prior to being woven, which contributes to its longevity and saturation for centuries. It's quite reminiscent of the way handcrafted products are nowadays too. At Elwin, we believe that the best quality of textile comes from core dyed strands. Although we use a wide range of methods, there's nothing quite as rich as the shade fabrics that have been dipped in dye one strand at a time. After all, nothing beats hand-dipped and hand-woven products, especially in today's mass-manufactured society. Wouldn't you agree? As always, thank you for stopping by our channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.